I studied electronic engineering, so I've had a fascination and love affair all my life with technology, and especially alternative energy technology. So I've been fascinated by this subject all my life, and but like a lot of people, I got sucked into the Borg and went into software, banking, and finance, and spent 20 or so years, watching things go wrong, really, with how we are organising our economy, with how we're organising our financial system. And in 2018, after a couple of years of becoming more interested in this strange thing called blockchain, I got an opportunity to join a startup called Lancor Scientific, which was developing cancer screening technology. Long story short, that company didn't succeed, and it was a huge wipeout, personally, financially, and I learned a lot of things. And I learned first and foremost to never give up on your dreams. And in 2019, I picked myself up and I started again with Mpowa. So hopefully you're going to enjoy the presentation, and you might learn some things as well. Let's skip this one. So it's there's a couple of dry slides. I just want to set the context a bit about what we're doing as a business. And really we're looking at this situation in the world where there's not enough opportunities for the average person to get involved in investing or donating to real impact projects with a degree of trust. There's a lot of charities, a lot of NGOs doing things, but really are they truly doing the things they claim? So our problem statement is there's limited access to these opportunities, especially with disruptive new technology, clean technology. It's a very niche specialist area, tends to be reserved for impact funds or VCs or private, philanthropic investors. That's one. Secondly, if you look at charity giving, there's a lot of problems in that space, with fraud, waste, and corruption. So typically people, I can only speak for myself. I don't typically give money to charity just because you don't really know where it's going or if it's going to the right things. And then latterly, if you look at ESG funds, there's obviously a lot of money now going into this space, but again, there's a big lack of transparency, traceability, and a lot of greenwashing. So carbon offsetting in general, as a space, has a lot of dubious practices. So there's three kind of interrelated problems that we are looking to provide one integrated solution on one platform. Next slide, please. So what's our solution? We kind of distilled it all down into bite-sized product called Decarbonizer. It's a blockchain-enabled SaaS platform that's meant to empower the average, people in the street, the average investor or donor to participate in these projects directly through a smartphone app. So we kind of simplify the whole end-to-end value chain of curating projects, picking, trusted partners, and the whole sort of political engagement on the ground in these complicated environments, so that you can just fire and forget and work through the app and just trust that your money's being used in the right way. So it's meant to provide an extremely user-friendly interaction and a nice customer experience. We provide our own token ecosystem, and there's a variety of tokens that we're going to be releasing with different characteristics. Some NFTs, some investment tokens, and in the end, a utility token. Working on the Polkadot ecosystem, which is probably most people know is one of the greenest blockchains. So that helps our kind of carbon footprint. We're providing incentives that any money that goes into the ecosystem and into projects earns carbon credits. So in the long run, it will be possible to accumulate those carbon credits as an asset and potentially monetize in the future. And of course, we all want to be part of a DAO. So truly, democratized experience where it's about participation. It's about being part of, family, tribe of people that are all working together on kind of shared set of problems. It's a high-level overview. slide. So a bit of a deep dive on what's going on out there, with the consumers who we're targeting with this product, and we think there's kind of a range of pain points, motivations, and needs that we're trying to address. And of course, primarily motivations. For me, it's wanting to be part of something bigger than myself, wanting to feel integrated in a community, and wanting to have a personal connection to the causes. And then, of course, needs. I want something usable. I want something that's proven, trusted, and where the sort of partners in the ecosystem can be relied on. So there's a bit of research we did to kind of summarise how we're going about it. Next page. Here's a bit more research. This is from the OECD, and it's talking about the different types of social and financial investing, and where we're sort of playing here in terms of the elements of our solution. I'll come on to in a minute. There are different components of the platform, including an ESG fund, a SaaS consumer offering, and a business-to-business offering as well. So we're trying to map the space to the phases of our roadmap. Next slide. So what does that look like? Where we stand today, we're busy just sort of finishing touches on our initial decarbonizer consumer app, and that should be released in the next month as an alpha version for our community to test. The Decarbonizer Pro is aimed at Q4 later this year, and the ESG Fund Q3, Q4 in parallel with the Decarbonizer Pro app. Next slide. So a little teaser, what the app looks like. And as we said, user-friendly, decentralized application. Makes it easy to participate and earning carbon credits. So we try to get the image of when Apple launched the iPhone. It's like 1,000 songs in the palm of your hand. We're trying to put all that power that we've developed over the last 3 years in the company, in terms of the partners, the traction, the ecosystem, and shrink it down. So that's basically the app is man years of work, basically. I don't think it's much away from. So, next slide. The Decarbonizer Pro is obviously a bit more of an enterprise grade bit of technology, so we're still designing that and doing some market validation with some partners that we're looking at to inform the kind of data and the kind of functionality that enterprise consumers would want to have. But obviously this is it's a bigger market opportunity potentially, and it's easier to penetrate if you have the right strategy. So that's phase 2. Next slide. And the real sort of holy grail for us, that's all great, having software, but we need finance. We need an engine to enable this, and we spent some time considering the best way to do that. There's obviously a lot of different theories, a lot of different approaches to crypto fundraising, and in the end we chose to go the middle road, and we're working with a pre-existing white label blockchain company called Scaling Funds. They've already done a number of traditional AIFM qualified funds, which are tokenized, and that means that we can offer that to the crypto space. However, it's not a crypto asset, it's literally a physical tokenized equity instrument, but it's a fully compliant platform, and it means that we don't get into any fun games with the financial regulators. So this project is about halfway. We have our scaffolding live. It is possible to kind of sign up and start to show interest in investing in the fund, but the structuring the fund and getting investors on board probably takes another 6 months before we're ready to launch that. So a little walkthrough of the user journey for consumers. It's all very straightforward. Creating wallets, most people already have a wallet. Subscribe to the platform. We're fully KYC'd as an ecosystem, so going through that process, buy your impact tokens, create profiles, set up what you want to do, and what kind of projects you're interested in. Go navigate, pick the projects you want to invest, track the progress, and of course claim your rewards at the end. You hope. Next slide. Going too fast. So this is a kind of view under the hood. What's underneath this app and this platform? I suppose this is really where the magic is in terms of what's different about us. In that we're bringing together a lot of these elements in terms of stakeholders and technologies into one kind of product and platform. So we have project developers, we have the governance with the DAO, the NGOs, direct integration with governments in some African countries, charities, quite a bit of disruptive technologies, and I could probably spend a few hours talking just about that, some of the technologies we're working with. But yeah, some of them are not currently known to be in the market, so that's quite exciting. Of course, then our network, and we're building up our own sort of, we call them heroes, so they're kind of field agents. We have about 6 now, currently on the ground in different African countries. Largely, we're working with a lot of young women and training them up and getting them skilled up to help us develop projects. Yeah. And of course MRV, because we want to see what's going on, and that's why we're building our own blockchain. So this is the two-sided market, impact or impact. There's a little flavour of some of the names. Quite proud of Green Cross. It took about 6 months of discussions, but I'm an honorary member of the Green Cross UK, and we're working with them specifically on regenerative agriculture as a subject. Probably most of you aware there's an emerging food crisis. I think there's about 1 billion people now at imminent risk of starvation in the coming years, so this is an urgent issue. And I'm happy to say that one of our pilot projects in South Africa has a lot of promise that we can decentralise and really start to grow regenerative agriculture projects, from the ground up in a repeatable way, also in a carbon negative manner because of the type of technologies and also the methods we're using, which remove carbon from the air. So this is on the Green Cross. Equinaca we signed last week, and they're a water, quite well established water charity doing projects in Uganda. We've yet to do the first project with them, but the idea is, they already have a good portfolio of projects in a lot of villages. They typically go and put boreholes, put in water infrastructure, but they don't have the technology or the finance to scale up. So that's where Mpowa steps in. We want to sort of take the pain out of their fundraising and their sort of that last mile of water purification treatment. A few others there. Sky H2O is a pretty famous atmospheric water generator company, so we're working with them in South Africa. Uravu, so that's just a flavour of some of the partners. So I touched on this a bit before, and there's several more. This is just to give an overview of the sort of things we're doing, and the water purification one on the left is with the Rotary Club, also in Uganda. So, yeah, in the financing stage, I would say the regenerative agriculture project is ready to go. We're just going through the approvals with the South African government. Next slide. So it's a bit of a view on market potential, what Mpowa as a business is looking at, because we're touching a lot of different things. We're not focused on one particular market segment. There's obviously the crypto market in itself is growing despite the recent turbulence. The long-term trend is huge, so it's a great space to be in. Carbon, of course, also a huge and growing sector. And we believe that's a great incentive for people buying, trading monetary input in terms of NFTs and donations for long-term upside in carbon credits is a good play. So it's a bit on market dynamics. Yeah. So why are we unique? I think we spend a lot of time focusing on impact and utility first before kind of obsessing about tokenomics and blockchain. So as a company, we wanted to kind of walk the walk first and approve what we're doing. So it's been a good 2.5 years of incubation, and I spent 3 months myself in South Africa last year, kind of feeling the pain points and really working with the local people. So putting on the sort of blockchain and the fundraising is let's say it's an adjunct to the business model. It's not kind of the first thing we did to raise funding. So we think that's a kind of different approach, perhaps. There's a very good team. I'm not the only one, so I'd like to introduce a few other faces in a minute. But, quite many years of experience on building platforms like this. And we think the gamification aspect, the Web3 and the metaverse and these things can make the user experience more fun and make it less of a dry kind of subject. We want people to enjoy being in our platform, not kind of like checking their investments and worrying about their money. Next. So a little bit on the roadmap. So you can see it's a long journey already. Since 2019 when I started it. And we're kind of in the create phase now in 2022, building the software, formalising our partnerships and relationships and getting pilot projects launched. And it's all going quite well, if slower than I would hope. Here's the team as it stands. There are many more, but these are kind of the key players. And happy to say I just recruited Claire last week. She's our new CTO, and she's from Canada. Very talented technologist. Jason is my co-founder. He's also English, and we've known each other a very, very long time. Christina is our blockchain and a commercial legal advisor, and she just joined last week and brings a wealth of experience to the party. To the top right, Angelo, 15 years in the renewable energy industry, so he's got a lot of experience with the technology and how the market operates, and brings all that sort of expertise on procurement and how the energy markets work. So yeah, it's a diverse and good team. As I said, there are a bunch of it's a level 2 and a level 3 team. Our level 3 team, the heroes, are about 5 now, and it's growing rapidly every week. Mostly young girls. Next. Of course, there's got to be a slide of money, isn't there, at some point? So I won't pitch, but that we are of course always looking for funding as a startup, and we are at the pre-seed stage, and looking really for an angel investor as much for the funding as for bringing that experience of going through the startup journey and opening doors and access and helping the founding team to make the right decisions strategically. So we are looking for a good angel investor. Okay. So yeah, to summarise, we'd love you all to join us. It's been an amazing journey bringing the company to this point. I'm proud to be here. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I really hope to see more of you in our community and in other events. Thank you so much.